Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the thumbnail and the title, this is going to be another war story from Orange County. Shots fired. So this is the early 2000s, and these are when most of my stories take place, to be honest, back in that time. And we had a spot at Lincoln and Magnolia, and there were some apartments there in Anaheim. And these apartments, they were bigger apartments, and there was a gate from the back alley where you would come in, and then I would go up the stairs, and the apartment was right there. Now, originally, when I first met the guy that was taking care of business for me there were a couple of roommates that lived there as well. And eventually they would end up moving out and not, re-signing a lease or whatever, because shit just got crazy down there, to be honest. If you were a normal person that wasn't using drugs, the last place you wanted to be was there, And I'll get into this story here shortly. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and share the video. It helps us to grow. Also, you can become a member now. Hit that join icon, and you can check out the different levels of membership. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed. We're growing, and that's all because of you guys, and I thank you for that. So I'm making the rounds. I have business in several different cities: Long Beach, 3 different spots in Anaheim, running all up and down Lincoln Avenue, and a guy in Rancho Cucamonga. And I arrive in Anaheim, and there was the guy that I was dealing with there, Jojo. He knew somebody that was trying to sell an amp. So business was going good. Everything was plentiful. And I took a look at the amp, and I was really into my music in my car at that time. So I was always looking to upgrade the system and stuff like that. And he had a pretty nice amp, which was something I was looking for. And normally, I'd buy these things for like $20 worth of product or whatever, maybe a little bit more. It was probably worth a couple $100, but it's clucker status basically, and you're trying to get product for something that's obviously stolen, So, but I showed the dude some love, and I probably give him about $100 worth of product, and I take the amp, I put it in the trunk, and I go through the gate and I go upstairs. Now, doing business there, at this point, all the roommates had moved out. And so we had Jojo, and then we had the homie Bird. Homie Bird was like the doorman. He would end up taking care of, doing some dealings later on for me as well. And basically, he made sure everybody stayed in line there. Picture the guy on New Jack City at the beginning of the movie when he's holding the dude off the bridge. That's Bird. or that's a good description of Bird anyways. And like, he was the homie. When the homie got busted over there and he took care of business, he secured all the product and everything for me. He became a great friend of mine, if that's what you want to call it when you're in the game. Really good dude. So I go up, dude goes off with his product. I have my amp now that I bought, and I'm kicking it there. A lot of times I'd bring the PlayStation, I'd hook it up to his TV and one of the bedrooms, and I would just let him take care of business if he didn't have all the cash ready. And this was one of those types of situations. So I was going to hang out for a couple hours.
I'm in there on a good one, playing the video game, waiting for him to get the cash up. Well, JoJo gets a call back from the dude because nobody knew my number, or I tried to keep as low a profile as I could down there because the less people that knew you, the less people that could tell on you. And uh, so he calls JoJo back and he said he wants to talk to me. So JoJo puts him on the phone and he says, "Hey, Bobby, that stuff wasn't any good." And like I said, I gave him plenty, way more than it was worth. And he tells me, that it wasn't any good. So I tell him, well, bring back what you didn't use. I'll swap you out for something different. Because typically I would have more than, I'd be running out of one. I had the new stuff, and I'd given him some of the older stuff. I'll give you some of the new stuff. Just give me back what you got. You know, I I was that guy with a return policy, if you will. So he tells me, well, I can't do that. I used it all. And I said, well, it doesn't take $100 worth of product to figure out that it's no good. So it sounds like we're straight, homeboy. And he says, oh no, I'm gonna get you, type of thing. And I said, well, I'm still here. You know where I'm at. Slide through if that's how you feel. So I go back to playing my game, and JoJo gets the rest of the cash together. And now it's time for me to head out. So it's already after dark now. I'm about to head down the steps, jump in the ride, and head back out to the IE. And the homie Bird, he's like, "Hey, you want me to walk you down real quick?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good, big dog. I appreciate you, but I ain't worried about them chumps." So I walk down, put put some stuff in the trunk, and I got the thing with me because I always had the thing with me. And I hear from down the alley in the darkness, "Hey, Bobby." And I'm like, "Oh, here we go. Okay, it's this guy." So I turn around. It's not very well lit in this alley. There's apartment buildings on either side, and it goes down, and then you would pull out back into the neighborhood to leave. So they're walking towards me. There's three of them. They're kind of spread out, almost as if they're social distancing or something. They're coming my way. They're 20, 30 feet away. I told them, I said, the best thing you guys could do is turn around and walk away, or there's going to be a real problem here. And, they're coming, they're running their mouth. And, I'm like, this really isn't a good idea, guys. I turn around, I like kind of lift my shirt up and show them that thing. And, they're still coming. So now they're 12, 15 feet away. I draw it out. I'm like, I suggest you guys turn around and walk away. That's in your best interest all the way around at this point, because I ain't playing with you guys. They continue to walk towards me. Now they're like 10 feet or less away, and I pop a couple over their head. Pop, pop, pop. And they scatter like roaches, basically. I mean, honestly, who wouldn't scatter like roaches? Somebody's over there shooting at you. But as soon as I do that, now keep in mind, this alley is dark. All the apartments upstairs, there's like carports down below, and then apartments upstairs with windows. All of a sudden, lights start coming on. And I'm like, oh no, I got to hurry up and get out of here because they're going to call the cops. So I put that thing away in the car. I jump in the car. I head out. JoJo calls me. He's like, hey, was that you? And I'm like, yeah, it was, you might want to put stuff away and lay low for a little bit because the cops are going to be coming. And, I head out. I'm assuming there was no description of my car or me given because I'd seen a couple of cops coming down past me pretty quick on, I believe it was Magnolia, as I was heading back up to the 91 freeway. And they ended up coming down there with a pretty thick presence in that area. JoJo told me, they never made contact up there or anything. I don't know if they made contact with some of the residents that maybe heard the shots fired or not. But I never heard anything else from those guys. That was the end of that situation. And the funny thing is, I ended up leaving that thing back out in the IE after that because, to be honest with you, it kind of scared me. Like I was a honestly, I was a low level drug dealer. I wasn't no killer, and it kind of scared me that it almost went there. So that ended up working out in my favor ultimately because I would get busted for my sales case a couple nights later, and I didn't have it with me, which would have completely changed the dynamics of my case. So that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The thing is, if you don't get involved with drugs and using drugs, then you won't end up in situations like this where you might have to make that type of decision of whether you want to be shot or you want to shoot somebody. Okay? I don't tell these stories to glamorize this stuff because there's nothing glamorous about it. I was a scumbag. They were scumbags. We were all scumbags. And, I'm glad that I was able to make it back from my addiction, and you can do the same thing. So, family, fitness, and freedom are the things that set me free from my addiction, and they can help you as well. Remember, you got to play that tape all the way through. And, if it seems like a bad idea, like it could end up with handcuffs or, in a grave, then maybe it's not such a great idea after all. Think about what you do. It's really important in preserving your sobriety. So, that's my story for the day. If you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, hit that thumbs down. But either way, drop a comment and tell me what you think. Do you think I was wrong for doing that? Do you think I was right? Let me know. Also, share the video. It really helps us to grow. We're quickly approaching 1,300 subscribers, and I thank you guys for that. You guys are the best audience there is. I really appreciate you guys. So don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.